Shoes get out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple things here. Talking about extension and width in the swing. So, you ever hear the term extension? That is how far you can get your hands away from the center of your body. So if I stand here like this and I put my hands out in front of me, I mean, I can push my shoulders forward. That's as far as my hands can go away from my shoulder. But when I make a backswing, I'm trying to get my hands as far away from me as possible, because when I rotate forward, that creates more whip. I hope that makes sense to you. So if it doesn't, this is why it creates more whip and more power. I always say, if I had a rope that was this big with a weight on the end of it, and I took that tiny rope and swung it, there wouldn't be much power delivered at the very end if I were trying to like hit you with it. But if I had a rope this long with a weight at the end of it and I swung that, by the time that weight got to you, it's got a lot of power. So if my arms are as long as possible back here, by the time that club head gets to the ball, there's a lot of power being delivered into it. So you can take a simple ball of some sort. This happens to be a volleyball. My wife was a big volleyball player. And I'm going to hold it out in front of me like this. Arms are hanging down. And I want to turn my thoracic spine. And I'm going to use a big word there. So thoracic spine is basically, see where the grip is up here? The grip is from right here to down to right there. That's my thoracic spine, the upper half of my spine. This lower part is called my lumbar spine. That doesn't move quite as much. So my thoracic spine, I'm trying to take my spine, my upper half of my spine, and turn it to the right. So if I turn it to the right, now I've got great extension. If I turn it to the right, now I got great extension. So the upper half starts to turn. See how my arms both stay extended? If this arm, my right arm's fold, now I'm no longer have extension. Is that very far away from me? No, it's right there. So I want to keep them both extended. So working on this is going to get you more extension in the golf swing. Also, if you turn your upper spine in the backswing first, if you turn it as much as you can, now the lower body will move a little bit. I'm really going to load this trail leg. So now I can push with a lot of power going forward. So a simple ball like this can really work on your extension. If you get to the top of your backswing, somebody took a picture and your hands look like they're right next to your head, that's probably not very good. You probably don't have much extension there. And now you have to unfold this. And by the time you get down to the ball, you've got no power left. So I'd rather be way back here and driving forward. Really, 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 really a great way to generate a lot of power. Let's go ahead and grab. So now I got the driver. So if you don't have a ball, not a big deal. You can take your hands, stick them out in front of you like this, and you can turn back and get the driver as far away from you. So if you were to drop this on the ground, it would land way back here, way back over there. If I folded my arms and dropped it, I would actually probably hit myself. So that's not good. So going forward, so that was on the backswing. On the backswing, I start with the top of my thoracic spine. I turn back. So to start my downswing, though, now we have to unwind all this coil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my legs first. I'm going to drive my hips and knees forward, and that's going to pull this thoracic spine forward. So if I just move my arms and stuff, my legs really didn't move. But if I really drive my legs, now that club is really going to swing forward and have a lot of speed. So once again, that first move is just thoracic spine up here, just turning to the right. Did you see my legs really move a whole lot there? Nope. Get here, you can see the club. Okay, so when I turn this back, I want you to watch where the club head ends up. Where is that? It's on that side of my hands. If I move my arms without my spine turning, if I just move my arms, now the club head is way behind me. I know there's a couple of you that are on this call that your first move is way back in here because you move your hands and arms first without your spine turning. If you focus on keeping the arms and the hands quiet and you turn your spine, bam, look where that club is. That's a pretty good position there. Now I can drive down and hit the ball. Next thing. And I know we've talked about chipping a lot, but I'm going to show you guys what we call a finesse chip. This is completely different than the normal Y chip Y, you know, hands forward, no wrist break or anything like that. This is meant to be really soft. So I'm going to show you this real quick. We're going to take our front foot and I'm going to drop it back. So my front foot's going to drop back and open up. So you can see that now. So my toes are equal here. So if I drop it back halfway, open my foot up, that's good. Drop this back, open it up. Now I'm going to turn my chest a little forward. My hands and elbows are going to be super soft. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take my trail hand, the back hand here, and I'm going to get what we call a weak grip. So you can see how this is my normal grip. This is my power grip. This is a weak grip. Kind of interesting. But what I'm going to do is all I'm going to do is take my hand and I'm going to open it up like this on the way back. So it's like I'm going to catch a raindrop. Catch a raindrop. It'll look like this here. I'm going to catch a raindrop. And once again, you can see the club is going almost straight up here. It's not going way back inside here. This is really important. Anybody who takes the club inside has to lift up and has a chance to come over top of it and slice it. That's not what we want in any of our shots. So I'm going to work way up here. So notice how my wrist cocked up. They cocked up. Now I'm going to cock it down. I'm going to let the club head drop. So it's going to look like this here. I'm going to go up. Notice how the club drops down. This is something you're going to have to work with because it takes a little bit of time to get used to it. But the stance is here. I'm going to cock it up. I'm going to cock it down. I'm going to turn forward. And notice how my hands went left. But as I came through, look at the club face. Which way is it pointed? It's pointed to the sky. Pointed to the sky. If my wife comes out here and sees what I just did to the carpet, I'm going to be in big trouble. Uh-oh. So up here, cock the wrist down and turn your chest to face forward. Really important that you do that. So this is something we'll work on this summer, definitely. Hopefully you guys will be in one of the summer camps with me as we get out on the golf course, start playing a lot more. But one of the things we'll definitely work on in between the rounds of golf and after the rounds of golf, we're going to work on this finesse wedge because I think it's something that all of you can really, really, really benefit from. It's what all the tour players do to hit the ball super high, super soft, and to put a lot of spin on it. I know everybody wants to put a lot of spin on their wedges because they think it's pretty cool. To throw a ball up there, it takes one big hop and stops like it's got glue stuck on it. So to me, that's going to be pretty cool if we can work on that. Going back to the rules of golf, make sure, because as soon as we can, we're going to have certifications. So make sure you know the difference between the loose impediments, the movable obstructions, the immovable obstructions. Make sure you know how to express a match play result. So if I'm playing against Ella and Ella's beating the snot out of me, she wins 6 of the first 12 holes, and we tie the other 6. She is 6 up with 6 to play. If we tie the next hole, she just beat me 6 and 5. Ugh. That's a whooping right there. That's a beat down. So, Ella, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to let it happen. Sorry. Hate to tell you. But we're going to play some match play stuff this summer as well, just so you guys get more acclimated with that. Really, 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 really is a lot more fun, and you can take a few more chances, I feel, because if you mess up on one hole and make a 12, it doesn't matter. You're only 1 down. Oh, well. Doesn't matter. Move on to the next one, and then next you know, I win the next hole. Now I'm all square with the match, so you can keep moving forward from there. Going back to the written test for the life skills, you're going to need to know CARE, what that stands for. You're going to need to know the different aspects of a go-to team, being a go-to person. Those are all very important on here. I'm trying to think what else is on this test. Make sure you understand the differences between the drops, the verbiage of the new rules that came out last year, and understanding what it is to hit it into a penalty area and then the things that you can do when you hit it into a penalty area. What can happen, I don't know if you guys can raise your hands, but just unmute yourself. Tell me what happens if you're in a penalty area and you ground your club. Does anybody know what happens now if you ground your club in a penalty area? Shout it out.
Plus stroke.
It's what?
1 plus stroke.
We're gonna have to look this one up, folks. If you ground your club in like a drainage ditch or something like that, or a creek, pretty sure it is no longer a penalty. Now, you can't ground your club in a hazard on purpose, but you can take a practice swing and whack your ball out of a penalty area, and it's not going to cost you a penalty stroke anymore. So, but double check that. Make sure you always double check the rules. Make sure you carry a rule book with you. And I got a bit of trivia for you guys here. I want to see, yesterday, my birdie level kids, birdie level now, they set the record of 10 correct answers. And I want to see if you guys can actually beat them, because you're older, you're wiser. And I know there's people on here that have a vast knowledge of what I'm about to ask. I need you to name superheroes, supervillains that are named after bugs. 10 is leading so far.
Ant-Man.
Who? Ant-Man?
Yeah.
That's
Spider-Man.
1. Spider-Man 2.
The Wasp.
3. Three? That's all you got is 3? The Teeny T's had 7. Don't go looking on your computers now. 3.
That's
3.
Oh wait, Black Widow.
4.
Do you know any supervillains named after bugs?
After bugs.
We said Spider-Man, the Wasp.
Oh, The Dark Knight. Batman. That's my favorite one.
He's named after a bug.
Yeah, Batman.
A bug is not a bat. That's a mammal.
Oh, wow, shoot.
Oh, man. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, man. Okay. Birdie wins it. They're going to be so happy to find out that they are the superhero, supervillain naming champions. There's like Green Hornet, the Tick, Blue Beetle.
Oh, Green Hornet. About that one.
All kinds of names there. All right, cool. Anybody got any questions for me?